You've killed yourself, and now you're in that process of understanding the universal way, understanding the subtle energy in the universe, and incorporating it into your own being. This brings it right to you. With all of the teachings in here, with all of the knowledge, wisdom that's been put in here, everything that you could ever want that is right for your life, it will be there. Now, from what I understand, it's going to take us 24 weeks to get through all of this. I hope that I wake up tomorrow. There's not a chance that I will, but there's not a chance that I won't. We just gotta roll the dice and see what happens. However, if we do, we'll be taking all of these teachings and applying it to our own life. The same way with what you should be doing right now. With all of this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. 24 weeks. All of this will take 24 weeks to get through. Part 1 week, part 2 the next week, and so on and so forth. We're going to get our power. We already have our power. We're just going to understand it even better. So I'm happy that I can bring you on this journey with me, and I'm happy that I can show you this knowledge. And the one thing that I can say, who else is fucking showing this shit to you? Let's be real. Who else is gonna show you this shit? Everyone wants you to not know this shit because this is the shit that they know, and they don't want the general public to know. But we ain't general public. We are us, and we can live our life in the way that we want. This just helps us live our life even better. Anyways, let's get going. Part 1 tells upon what possession is based, explains the cause of all gain, explains the cause of loss as well as other experiences in life. It explains how power is secured. It tells of a world within and how this world is governed. It explains how the solution for every problem in life may be found. It tells how practical men and women find the courage, power, hope, enthusiasm and confidence by which they are given the intelligence and wisdom to make their dreams come true. It tells how more efficiency is obtained and retained, and how our future may be placed under our own control instead of being at the mercy of capricious or uncertain external power. It explains the cause of every condition, the reason for every experience, the origin of all power, and why all power is absolutely under our own control. Introduction, Part 1. Would you bring into your life more power? Get the power consciousness. More health? Get the health consciousness. More happiness? Get the happiness consciousness. Just making sure if my mic was actually on. I'm not a streamer. Live the spirit of these things until they become yours by right. It will then become impossible to keep them from you. The things of the world are fluid into a power within man by which he rules them. You need not acquire this power. You already have it, but you want to understand it. You want to use it. You want to control it. You want to impregnate yourself with it so that you can go forward and carry the world before you. Day by day, as you go on and on, as you gain momentum, as your inspiration deepens and your plan crystallizes, as you gain understanding, you will come to realize that this world is no dead pile of stones and timber. That is a living thing. It is made up of the beating hearts of humanity. It is a thing of life and beauty. It is evident that it requires understanding to work with material of this description, But those who come into this understanding are inspired by a new light, a new force. They gain confidence and great power each day. They realize their hopes and their dreams come true. Life has a deeper, fuller, clearer meaning than before. Part 1. That much gathers more is true. That much gathers more is true on every plane of existence, and that loss leads to greater loss is equally true. Mind is creative, and conditions, environments, and all experiences in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. The attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. This is true because we must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent that we are, and what we are depends upon what we think. We cannot express powers that we do not possess. The only way by which we can secure possession of power is to become conscious of power, and we can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. There is a world within, a world of thought and feeling and power, of light and life and beauty. And although invisible, its forces are mighty. The world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause of every effect. And since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. The world without is a reflection of the world within. What appears without is what has been found within. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form within the world without. Harmony in the world within will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything. It is the foundation of health and a necessary essential to all greatness, all power, all attainment, and all achievement, and all success. Sorry. Got ahead of myself there, didn't I? Harmony in the world within means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience is to affect us. Harmony in the world within results in optimism and affluence. Affluence within results in affluence without. I want to read that again, sorry. Harmony in the world within results in optimism and affluence. Affluence within results in affluence without. The world within reflects the circumstances and the conditions of the conscious within. I hate reading out loud. I don't think you actually understand it. But we will get better. It's not really an anxious thing. It's more of a I'm forcing myself to do it so I can force myself to get better at it. The world without reflects the circumstances and the conditions of the consciousness within. If we find wisdom in the world within, we shall have the understanding to discern the marvelous possibilities that are latent in this world within, and we shall be given the power to make these possibilities manifest in the world without. As we become conscious of the world, of the wisdom in the world within, we mentally take possession of this wisdom. By taking mental possession, we come into actual possession of the power and wisdom necessary to bring into manifestation the essentials necessary for our most complete and harmonious development. The world within is the practical world in which the men and women of power generate courage, hope, enthusiasm, confidence, trust, and faith, by which they are given the fine intelligence to see the vision and the practical skills to make the vision real. You can look at every artist that is doing their own thing and you can see this whole rule applied to them. I mean, the whole last 14 things that we've been reading, we spoke about in the last video. Everything out there is from within here. If you're always thinking bad shit, if your mind's always meditating negatively on everything that's going on around you, whether it's the world consciousness or your country's consciousness or your social consciousness, that, you know, your groups or friends and all of that, if something bad's going on, you're always going to be thinking about it, and that bad thing that you're feeling in here will transpire in the world outside. This is why we say you can have heaven on earth, but you can only have heaven on earth if you believe heaven is already in here. But if hell is in here, then hell will be out there. Life is an unfoldment, not accretion. What comes to us in the world without is what we already possess in the world within. All possession is based on consciousness. All gain is the result of an accumulative consciousness. All loss is the result of a scattered consciousness. Mental efficiency is contingent upon harmony. Discord means confusion. Therefore, he who would acquire power must be in harmony with natural law. I was hearing something outside. I thought someone was banging on my door. We are related to the world without by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind, and the cerebral spinal system of nerves put us in conscious communication with every part of the body. This system of nerves responds to every sensation of light, heat, odor, sound, and taste. When this mind thinks correctly, when it understands the truth, when the thoughts sent through the cerebral spinal nervous system to the body are constructive, these situations are pleasant, harmonious. The result is that we build strength, vitality, and all constructive forces in our body, but it is through this same objective mind that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony is admitted to our lives. It is therefore through the objective mind, by wrong thinking, that we are related to all destructive forces. We are related to the world within by the subconscious mind. The solar plexus is the organ of this mind. The sympathetic system of nerves preside over all subjective sensations such as joy, fear, love, emotion, respiration, imagination, and all other subconscious phenomena. It is through the subconscious that we are connected with the universal mind and brought into relation with the infinite constructive force of this universe. This universe is the coordination of these two centers of our being and the understanding of their function, which is the great secret of life. Within this knowledge, we can bring the objective and subjective minds into conscious cooperation, and thus coordinate the finite and the infinite. Our future is entirely within our own control. It is not at the mercy of any capricious or uncertain external power. A lot of you probably need to hear that. They think that they're being controlled by everyone else that's around them doing this and doing that. You control them, but you're just believing that they control you, so that gives them power over you because you believe it in here. So it will happen out there. It's all just a fucking mind game, man. You're the dreamer and the dream. Get that right. All agree that there is but one principle of consciousness pervading the entire universe, occupying all space and being essentially the same in kind at every point of its presence. It is all powerful, all wisdom, and always present. All thoughts and things are within itself. It is all in all. drinking water. I don't know, normally when I'm reading on stream, we all know I don't read out loud, I just read it in my head. But with this, it's time to read out loud. You can make notes. We've got our notepad here like normal. I expect you to also have your notepad out and be making notes as well. There is but one consciousness in the universe able to think, and when it thinks, its thoughts become objective things to it. As this consciousness is omnipresent, it must be present within every individual. Every individual must be a manifestation of that omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent consciousness. As there is only one consciousness in the universe that is able to think, it necessarily follows that your consciousness is identical with the universal consciousness. Or, in other words, all mind is one mind. There is no dodging this conclusion. The consciousness that focuses in your brain cells is the same consciousness which focuses in the brain cells of every other individual. Every individual is but the individualization of the universal, the cosmic mind. The universal mind is static or potential energy. It simply is. It can manifest only through the individual, and the individual can manifest only through the universal. They are one. The abilities of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal and bring it into manifestation. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. Walker says, mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy from which arises the activities called thought, which is a dynamic phrase of mind. Mind is static energy, though thought is dynamic energy, the two phrases of the same thing. Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. As the sum of all attributes is contained in the universal mind, which is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, these attributes must be present at all times, in their potential form in every individual. Therefore, when the individual thinks, the thought is compelled by its nature to embody itself in an objectivity or condition, which will correspond with its origin. I contradict myself a lot of times when I'm reading. Yeah, fuck it, I'm not going to contradict myself anymore. I say something wrong, I'm going to own it, and I'm just going to say, oh damn, I said that thing cute. Anyways, every thought is therefore a cause, and every condition an effect. For this reason, it is absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. It's going to say outcomes. It makes sense, outcomes as well, though. All power is from within and is absolutely under your control. It comes through exact knowledge and by the voluntary exercises of these principles. Of exact principles. I'm too stuck in my head. Sorry, my OCD is kicking in real quick. I know you probably just want to read and learn, and I'm sorry, you can mute me. You can go on the URL and you can, do it yourself. But why I do it is so that you feel like you have someone there with you as well that is learning this shit, and you're not the only lone soldier in this fucking world. We all know how that feels. I'm the only guy in this world, and no one else can fucking do, Yes, yeah. This life that we live is lonely. I'm here to at least ease that pain and make you not feel that you're so alone in this race that you're in, getting to the best that you can be. It should be plain that when you acquire a thorough understanding of this law and are able to control your thought processes, you can apply it to any condition. In other words, you will have come into conscious cooperation with omnipotent law, which is the fundamental basis of all things. The universal mind is the life principle of every atom which is in existence. Every atom is continually striving to manifest more life. All are intelligent, and all are seeking to carry out the purpose from which they were created. A majority of mankind lives in the world without. Few have found the world within, and yet it is the world within that makes the world without. It is therefore creative, and everything which you find in your world without has been created by you in the world within. That's why I say always make art, because the more you understand with the world that's going on within, the more you'll be able to make art in this world without. The master key will bring you into a realization of power, which will be yours when you understand this relation between the world without and the world within. The world within is the cause, the world without an effect. To change the effect, you must change the cause. I don't know why I caught my You will at once see that it is a radically new and different idea. Most men try to change effects by working with effects. They fail to see that it is simply changing one form of distress for another. To remove discord, we must remove the cause of this cause. We must remove the cause, and this cause can only be found only in the world within. All growth is from within. This is evident in all nature. Every plant, every animal, every human being is a living testimony to this great law. And the errors of the ages is in looking for strength or power from without. The world within is the universal fountain of supply, and the world without is the outlet to the stream. Our ability to receive depends upon our recognition of this universal fountain, this infinite energy of which each individual is an outlet, and so is one with every other individual. Stripping up because I was thinking. The one thing you need to understand is these musicians, artists, whatever, the people that you see whenever you're scrolling through your phone, whenever you see a random Twitch streamer jumping in front of his camera saying that, oh my god, this insert famous person here DM'd me, oh my god, shows it to the camera and whatnot. They all get hyped in chat, and this is the stuff that they know. This is why they can live the life that they live, because they've wanted to live a life where they are just doing their music shit, where they're just doing what they're doing, whether it's, acting, creating art, music. I mean, at the end of the day, they all are art, just different sectors of art. Like what we're doing here, it's art. This is what I'm saying. It's like a lot of people have put these people up on pedestals, but you only put them up on pedestals because of the amount of money that they have. You can learn so much from them if you just study them as just people and what they do, from how creative they are. Doesn't matter about the clothes that they wear, it doesn't matter about the music that they're producing, doesn't matter about none of it, because it all is one harmonious thing, because it's them. Study how they live their lives, and I'm not going to say you apply it to yourself, but you figure out how to individualize yourself so you can live your life similar to how they are living theirs. Not, of course, similar to every little process that they're doing, but they live their life and you live your life. That's it. Recognition is a mental process. Mental action is therefore the interaction of the individual upon the universal mind. And as the universal mind is the intelligence which pervades all space and animates all living things, this mental action and reaction is the law of causation. But the principle of causation does not obtain in the individual but in the universal mind. It is not an objective faculty but a subjective process, and the results are seen in an infinite variety of conditions and experiences. In order to express life, there must be mind. Nothing can exist without mind. Everything which exists is some manifestation of this one basic substance, from which and by which all things have been created and are continually being recreated. We live in a fathomless sea of plastic mind substance. This substance is ever alive and active. It is sensitive to the highest degree. It takes form according to the mental demand. Thought forms the mold or matrix from which the substance expresses. Remember that it is in the application alone that the value consists, and that a practical understanding of this law will substitute abundance for poverty, wisdom for ignorance, harmony for discord, and freedom for tyranny. And certainly there can be no greater blessing than these from a material or social standpoint. Now make the application. Select a room where you can be alone and undisturbed. Sit erect, comfortably, but do not lounge. Let your thoughts roam where they will but be perfectly still for from 15 minutes to half an hour. Continue this for 3 to 4 days, or for a week, until you secure full control of your physical being. You don't actually need to sit up erect. You're only doing that to, discipline yourself to stay erect. If you want, you can just lie down in your bed, but making sure that you're not sleeping. So instead of lying down on your bed, lie down on your floor. Look up at the ceiling in the night and just, that's all you need to do. I understand that people nowadays, they are trying to get everyone into meditation and doing this and doing that with crystals and all of this and all of that. You don't really need crystals. I do believe that crystals do have, magical properties and all of that. But you are the best crystal known to man once you crystallize yourself into the divine being that you know you are. It takes time, and it takes a lot of fucking time, especially with this. It's not just sitting for 15 minutes or half an hour just being still, keeping your mind fixed, but letting it roam around wherever it needs to roam. What it is transforming yourself into a person where it's completely unrecognizable from the person you were previously. We've all done that, but we can all do it again. That's what the world is, that's what life is, that's what evolution is. We just keep on growing, keep on expanding, keep on being us. The best ways to keep track of your expanding is by being creative, like what we've been doing. I don't want to brag about, look at what we've been doing, and I know we need to keep on reading, but let me cook. We all know this has happened here, and I express my gratitude and my appreciation for everything that happened in here. But you can see from where we were down here to over here to over here to over here, and then it just changes, it grows, it expands, it gets better and better and better, because that's what life is. Every time you decide to do something like this, when you're creating, you're making sure that you created better than the last time you created, because you've been doing the work externally in the back, making sure that you can be better than how you was previously. This is why we do all of this work, and this is why I am happy we can sit down together and you're not feeling alone, that you're doing all of this work and no one else is here doing it with you, and you finally got someone else here that is giving you shit, and you're gonna give me shit as well. It's two-way street here, bud. But yeah, we're growing. This is it. We've got a video in the works right now. Yeah, you can see the madness that occurs when we're I'm not going to show you any of it, that's for a different time and a different video, but there's a lot going on in our life, but there's a lot going on in your life as well. This is where we just forget about everything else that we're trying to do. We retract our tentacles back in, and we just keep on pushing forward. Many will find this extremely difficult. Others will conquer with ease, but it is absolutely essential to secure complete control of the body before you are ready to progress. In part 2, you will receive instructions for the next step. In the meantime, you have mastered this one. So I said, for a week, study this, apply it to your life, look around life. When you're going out, it doesn't matter if you're shopping with your mum or you're shopping by yourself or you're waiting in the line for something or you're doing this or you're doing that. Take 5-10 minutes, retract yourself back into your mind, let your body just be there, completely dead, while you're just looking around, looking what other people are doing, seeing other people live their lives. And look at all of these laws. Look at all of these principles. Look at all of this. And you tell me if all of this is bullshit or not. What is the world without what is the world without in its relation to the world within? The world without is a reflection of the world within. Upon what does all possession depend? All possession is based on consciousness. How is the individual related to the objective world? The individual is related to the objective world by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind. How can he relate to the universal mind? How is he related to the universal mind? He is related to the universal mind by the subconscious mind. The solar plexus is the organ of this mind. What is the universal mind? The universal mind is the life principle of every atom which is in existence. How can the individual act on the universal? The ability of the individual to think in his ability to act upon the universal and bring it into manifestation. What is the result of this action and interaction? The result of this action and interaction is cause and effect. Every thought is a cause and every condition an effect. How are harmonious and desirable conditions secured? Harmonious and desirable conditions are secured or obtained by right thinking. What is the cause of all discord and harmony, lack and limitation? Discord and harmony, lack and limitation are the result of wrong thinking. What is the source of all power? The source of all power is the world within. The universal fountain of supply, the infinite energy of which every individual is an outlet. Those who are finished by making all others think with them have usually been those who began by daring to think for themselves. Yeah. Oh man, that was a hard one though. Yeah. Yeah.